somewhere so I can focus on this thing here. Okay. So, I left my notes. No, it's falling. It's falling. I don't want it to fall. Let me put this here, and I think it still works. I'll back up. Am I center-ish? Yeah, I'm kind of center. All right. Hello. Welcome back. I've been gone for almost a month. And that's about when the what do we call it? The fit hit the shan. Anyway, I'm wearing one of my Crowned by Keisha wigs. I do like this one. So this is actually going to be part of a Halloween costume that nobody will ever see because we're still quarantined, because people don't actually care about others. But that's fine. So, what we're talking about today, this is kind of an update. Okay. So this is kind of an update because a whole month has gone by. And I know the last thing that I talked about was planning for a concert, and that went well. That was really exciting. And we finished our virtual workshops for I Colori dell'Opera, and now there's another channel that I have to work on for the Opera House. So I'll be building content for that, and I will not be neglecting this because, a lot happened. So I did do a lot of planning. I actually planned out one of the things I'll be talking to some of the people who are, I feel like this is crooked, and at this point I feel like it is what it is. I just wanted to put something on and act like I was going somewhere. I am not going anywhere, so that's fine. Anyway, we talked about, so execution is like we're in the process, and then I'm putting to use a lot of my project management things that I have been learning, and I'm also studying about, running the financials for a nonprofit, because there's a specific set of rules. Excuse me, can't see through these. Actually, I probably don't even need them because I'm just looking at the camera. But I like being able to see. But anyway, so I am doing that. And so it kind of like right now, everything seems like it's in limbo. And it's like good and bad things are happening. For example, the good things, with my opera company taking off and the support, and then being able to donate to some of the nonprofits by choice of the singers who were they got a little bit of like an honorarium for performing, and some of them chose to donate to specific nonprofits. So we're in the works of making sure all that money gets directed there, but you have to document that properly and have appropriate stuff. So it's kind of, I'm on this learning curve because as an entrepreneur, I never thought that a nonprofit would be something that I would be heading. I always thought that maybe I would work with somebody and then they would do the financials and I would not. But since that's not how it works, I think the other thing, the bad part of it is that because of the shootings of unarmed Black people, and now we even have another case where the military has absolutely failed this young woman who was, just trying to live her life. And it seems very parallel to Breonna Taylor, where the police who are meant to protect and serve basically took away lives needlessly. That type of stuff is really depressing, and when you feel like your life is going well but somebody else is suffering, like their families, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, I guess, and Vanessa Guillen's family, her sister, her mom, and her extended family. I mean, all of these people have had their lives taken for no reason by the people that are supposed to protect and serve, and that's not right. And that's why it's so hard to say, to look at your own personal successes and then say, all right, I did good. And you're just like, they should be able to say that too. They should be, writing things down in their planner, or, talking to their family about what they plan on doing. And they can't anymore. That's over for them. Regardless of what you believe about after we leave this earth, this life is a gift, and you should be able to live it to your fullest without it being interrupted. And I absolutely hate that that these are things that we have to continue to fight for, because we shouldn't. It should have been the officers should be arrested, the people at the on base that helped cover up everything that happened with Vanessa Guillen. They need to be fired and they need to be charged, because that's, this is back to the Me Too movement, where women were coming out about being sexually assaulted and sexually harassed, and they're like, why wouldn't you come out? Well, Vanessa literally just died for mentioning it. She didn't even get to go through the whole process of the investigation. And then to top it off, they're investigating whether or not it happened. She got killed by the person who did it. And we're trying to figure out if it happened. Then the person who did it, one of the people who was involved, killed himself. If that's not an admission, I don't know what the heck is. I don't know. So I know not a lot of people watch this, but if you are watching this and you do believe that Black Lives Matter, Black lives include pretty much brown lives, women. When this stuff happens, it doesn't just mean I care about me and my skin. I'm looking at who are they not listening to. And right now, Black and brown people, they don't listen to us, especially not Black and brown women. They want to tell us we're whiny or complaining, or you've made so many strides, you want to do this and want to do that, but you want to complain. Nobody should have to deal with sexual assault ever. Okay, so that's one of the things that dealing with, and then posting about it on social media. Like, it's really hard to have these celebrations, and like I'm saying, like the opera company, for me, Juneteenth virtual concert was a huge success, and it wasn't even on a large scale yet. But on the other hand, the opera companies here in Houston have decided not to have a season for the rest of 2020, which means a lot of my friends are unemployed right now. So it's kind of hard to be like, success, when somebody else is suffering. So there's this double-edged, I don't want to say sword, because like one way it's not really cutting me, and the other side, so maybe it's just one-edged sword. What do you call that? I don't know. But one of the things that I do is try to be a friend to people who are hurting, and if that means donating money, making sure people know about events to protest. And sadly, the officers who killed and who were involved in that warrant that nobody can find in Louisville, or Louisville, I don't know how you say it when it's in Kentucky, but they don't know where they don't know where the warrant is, or who signed the warrant, and that's another cover up. And there was not really a riot there, and so those police are not. It seemed like the peaceful protest didn't do anything. It just, it got some streets painted. We definitely did not ask for the streets to be painted. We didn't ask for the signs to be painted. We definitely were asking for justice, and justice is not paint. Paint does not equal justice. These people's lives do not equal paint. They can rename the entire base Vanessa Guillen, but if they don't do anything to make changes there, then that means they're not dedicated to protecting women when they enter that area. And that's not the first thing. The fact that they were looking for Vanessa and then found, I can't remember his name right at the moment, but they found his remains, this guy's remains that had disappeared last year. I'm sorry. That does that not warrant an investigation? That's I don't know what else to say about that. I feel very strongly that human rights are really important, and these are all views that have to do with human rights. So I'm going to continue doing what I can. I mean, I'm still going to work for it toward my personal goals until I can't, and hopefully that day of can't never happens. I'm going to do what I can to make sure it doesn't happen. But I mean, human rights is important because I want my family to be safe, and I don't think anyone's family needs to go through what George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Vanessa Guillen, like all of those are absolutely equal to me. Their lives matter. And that's why we have to designate that. We can't say all lives matter because the all lives matter people would like that to they just want us to shut up and say, oh yeah, well, yeah, all lives matter. But why aren't they mad then? Why aren't they mad? Okay, let me back up, go through my little notes. So anyway, so my only suggestion, and this is what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna practice my music like I'm supposed to because I have a lesson coming up. I'm gonna, do some sewing. I'm doing a sewing class, for the rest of the summer just to, have fun with some people. Some people wanted to learn and I have time to teach, so I'm gonna do that. And then this is absolutely crooked. I don't even, well, whatever is pink. No, what everybody know. It's a wig. I didn't dye my hair pink. Are you kidding me? Never be brown again. Anyway, if you're kind of in the same, I don't know, I feel like I'm in limbo right now. If you're still kind of in limbo, set aside part of your day to do something you like to do. Don't just sit and do nothing. I mean, I know people like to watch Netflix and listen to music and stuff, but actually, give yourself something to do that actually says your mind can focus on this and you have a little bit of peace. Okay, you don't have to feel guilty about that. You can still write down your goals, even if you feel like 2020 is a bust, which, gosh. All I know is I don't want to do another year like this ever again. Okay, I said the same thing in like 2017, like the 2017-2018 school year, I think was when everything got real cray, and I was like, wow, okay. But just do something that takes your mind off of it. One of my friends said, sewing, and we just did something super simple, kind of helped her, and she was like, oh, that's therapeutic. There's a whole crafting, there's several crafting groups on Facebook where you can just show off the things that you do, and some people find that therapeutic. Other people find it therapeutic to read a book. I always find it fun to reread The Count of Monte Cristo, and I'm gonna try to do that, but I just haven't felt like opening the book. Like, it's just like so much injustice to Edmond Dantes. Like, and he didn't even do anything wrong, and it just seems like it's parallel to what happened. Like, nothing under the sun is new. There's nothing new under the sun. So, no, I feel like I'm ending on a weird kind of sad note. So let's talk about some good things. Okay, really quick, I downloaded the kind of a collection of Maya Angelou's poems and Langston Hughes, which I absolutely recommend. I read Caged Bird. I read The Negro Mother by Langston Hughes. Caged Bird is by Maya Angelou, if you just don't know. And then I also read Langston Hughes' Note on Commercial Theater, which I had heard as a young girl on the Sound of Blackness CD. It's Africa to America is the CD. It's CD. on the album. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, it's on Spotify, so you can ignore the fact that I said CD altogether. Anyway, I read those, and those will be posted on the I Colori dell'Opera website. I mean, YouTube, as soon as I re-edit, because I edited it at first to be the introduction to the show, just in case people were like tapping in and were like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna hold this page until. And so it was, you know, I think those poems were important, and every once in a while I want to record some works by some more African American artists, or even Mexican artists, or Mexican American, basically composers of color, where there's not a lot of recordings. I like performing lesser known works, and just because I like singing that, I feel more of a connection to that, and I feel like I can take it further without somebody saying, well, when I sang that, I interpreted that rest, right between the first two phrases. I interpreted that as, a pause of life. I'm not, it's not that bad. But, I feel like modern composers don't get enough exposure, and I don't think we should wait until, some modern composers don't get enough exposure, and I don't think we should wait until they die to perform their stuff. So, anyway, and if you're watching this and you are a composer and you want to work with me on some things, I have some poems. Nah, I don't write poetry, but I have some poems that I would love to have as a song. That would be great. So you can send me a message, and that would be great. Okay, so we're ending on a better note now, and I think I'm gonna start doing some. Also, some history stuff is gonna start happening, because I'm kind of reteaching myself history, because I don't know if you know, I don't know, but so there was a part of history that said George Washington had wooden teeth, and I remember as a kid looking at that and was like, wooden teeth, and it just, my brain couldn't comprehend it. It was just like, who wants wooden teeth? Like, wouldn't he get splinters every once in a while? And I was asking kind of the right questions, but there was no way for me to figure out exactly what the right question was. The right question was, would they have had the tools to whittle wood down to teeth that would not splinter if you ate something that was too tough, and would not splinter into your, and how would you make those dentures into that? Like, how would they attach? Would he just put wood in your mouth? Like, wood, huh? And so the truth ended up being that he made dentures from slaves' teeth. Yeah, first president, United States. Slave dentures. And that actually made more sense. I don't know if anybody, like, somewhere else in the world is watching this and was like, wait, hold up, did you just say? And I mean, it's not that odd of an idea, considering there are tribes in old times that would have worn teeth, but I mean, probably not human teeth. But like, I just made this whole thing weird. That's great. So that's how you lighten the mood, I think. Anyway, thanks for sticking it out with me. If you did stick it out, if you left me early, that was probably for the best. But yeah, so I hope everybody had, I hope June Pride Month was great for my LGBTQ plus friends. I hope that Juneteenth was great for those who celebrate it, and 4th of July is coming up, and I don't think we've ever done anything special for 4th of July, but since we're stuck at home, Dad is going to throw some ribs out on the grill. I think he's going to smoke them. I don't know what he's going to do. Whatever he's going to do is going to be amazing, and I'm going to eat it. And I hope. Wait, you okay? And subscribe. You can share these videos. Yeah. I need to do a whole bunch of more things now. So, see you next time. Bye.